Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about everything we don't like about our new Tesla Model Y Juniper, the 2026 model year. And that's in the US. In Europe, it's 2025. Now don't worry, there's a much bigger list that is about what we like about the car, and it's much longer. So in this case, we're just listing things that we don't like, and we want to be comprehensive so you can weigh the pluses and minuses if you do want to buy a Tesla. All right, so the first item is the service center. The service center is, for us, is about 80 miles away. And we knew about that. We thought that if there's a major issue, we would take it to service, obviously. But for small items like trim issues, items that can be fixed on the spot, we assumed that Tesla would have the mobile service available. And they do advertise that they have the mobile service. However, we discovered that our location does not have a mobile service. That's a major minus. The next item is the headlights. They should have been, in my opinion, higher up in the car. And what happens is it causes the angle to be very shallow, close to the ground. And if there's a little hill that's coming up, it will basically obstruct the light beam from going beyond that hill. And I'll demonstrate this right here. All right, so here's the explanation. Because the camera can't really detect nicely in a video the dark spots, I'm going to show you the problem in a drawing. And suppose we have a road like this. Say the light beam comes out from here, right? Let's see. You can tell that if the light comes down from here, the most that it could hit is over here. Anything that's behind here will be obstructed. And that's the problem with very low headlights. If there's something that's blocking the light beam, you won't see behind it. It's just, that's what it is. And we're located, in respect, we're located around here, say. So the old ones, say they were here, the new ones are here, and we're here. So when we're looking, we're seeing all this, and all this is dark because the light from here is not showing. I hope you understand this explanation. Trust me, this is what's happening. Is it a big deal? Yeah, the lights are quite good on the car, but it is an issue. Next thing that I don't like is the on-screen shifter. And while there is a physical shifter, the PRND, on the ceiling, it really is just in case the screen doesn't work. And it's kind of hard to reach and click, so that's not an option for day-to-day use. So in effect, there's no real problem with the on-screen shifter, but a physical shifter would have been much more convenient. Just like the turning signal, you can just flick it up, flick it down, and maybe with a side press, you would have the park or neutral. They could have done so many things much easier, but they decided to go with the on-screen shifting. I think it was a mistake, but again, it's not a deal breaker. All right, so I wanted to show you the PRND. Normally you don't see them. This is also where you got the hazard lights, and all the buttons here are capacitive. And if you notice, there are two steps. So bright, all right, you gotta wait a little, I think. Yeah, but I think it's when the door opens, you can press it one more to get it a little brighter. But if you wanted to get to the PRND, you have to touch the panel. Actually, you have to press the brake. No, you gotta have your seatbelt on. Hold on, let me put the seatbelt. All right, so I put my seatbelt on. Now, if I press it, they show up, but then you got to put your brake on to press it. And it worked. So not ideal. This is really only when the touchscreen does not work or the screen stopped working. Yeah. I think, yeah, I gotta just do a long press. Yeah, long press. Not ideal. Next issue is with the AC fan. In my opinion, it's a little too loud, even on the lowest setting. Now, the way that the AC works in the Tesla is that when it's on automatic, you have low, medium, and high. And what it means is that in order to get the cabin to that temperature, it will either be in the highest setting, medium setting, or low. Now, low doesn't mean that it's going to be on the lowest setting. It just means that it's going to be, I believe, up to a level 4 in the fan speed, and the fan speed goes from 1 to 10 or 1 to 9, something like that. While it's an automatic low, it is still very, very loud. Again, in my opinion. So here's the deal with the AC. All right, so you got manual, right? You got the manual, the auto is not on. But if I press the auto, you got 3 settings. You got low, you got medium, and you got high. Now these basically tell the car, okay, I don't care about the noise. Go as high as you can, just get the cabin to the temperature that is needed as fast as possible. So if you don't care about that, you can put it on high. But I usually put it on low because I just don't like the noise of the fan. And the low right now is at 2, but it can get to 3 or 4. Next on my list is FSD, and I believe that FSD is the best feature in a Tesla. I'm being honest here. It's the best thing in the Tesla. I believe it's going to improve, and quite a lot of improvement in the next months and years. So this is to this moment. At this moment, it doesn't avoid potholes, and where we live, after the winter, everything, the roads are destroyed, and you just have to avoid manually the potholes so you don't destroy or damage the suspension. So that's a minus, but it works really flawlessly for us, besides little tiny quirks that I'm sure they will fix. Next issue that specifically I have with my car is that the driver's side, when you're going 70 miles an hour, is like completely whispered. There is no wind noise. However, the passenger side, you can hear a higher level of wind noise. We talked about it to the service center. They went for a test drive, and they told us it's within spec. And I don't know, maybe I'll mention that again, but that's an issue in my opinion. Next, I'm going to talk about the boominess that I feel that there is in the cabin. And I somewhat fixed it by adjusting the trunk liftgate to make sure that it has more pressure on the body where the footings are, so that when you go over bumps, the liftgate doesn't vibrate. That's the vibration of the liftgate is what's causing this boominess, because you got that big window bouncing in whatever frequency that the road is bouncing, and that causes some boominess sound. I pretty much eliminated that, I believe, by adjusting those footers, and I'll show you how I did that. All right, so I wanted to show you what you need to adjust if you do get boominess in your car. What happens is, from the factory, they don't adjust these or these, but these are twisties, so you can make them up and down. Same goes on this side, and same goes for this. This is a different type of twisty. I don't know. Yeah, you twist, it goes up and down, and then you twisted the area that you want it to stay. Okay, And the problem is that from factory, they're all at the minimum. So what happens is they don't actually touch these sections to create a little bit of tension on the lift gate. And what happens is it latches, right? But then it still has some freedom to vibrate. And this big glass vibrating causes a lot of boominess. So if you have this case, and it's not just this car or the new model, it's any Tesla model or actually any car, the liftgate needs to be tight so it doesn't vibrate. Next, let's talk about the fit and finish of the car. So let's start with the inside. The inside of the car, I believe, is almost flawless. When I got it, the only defect that it had was a speaker grill that had an indent. Service will replace that part, so everything's good. So it's not very visible, but there is a dent in the speaker, and that's the reason why I didn't notice it when I took delivery, because it really is kind of hard to tell. I'll show you the other side. See, the other side is completely flat. And let me show you again the dented side. Very hard to tell, but it is dented. Everything else inside, the fit and finish is excellent, and I really, really like the interior. The interior is really well made. Now let's talk about the exterior. Panel gaps are okay, but there is still a little bit of alignment issues that I believe could be better. Nothing, no deal breaker, nothing that would upset you. But if you really carefully look at the car, you would notice some panels misaligned. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So right here, you can see the gap here, and then you can see the gap here. It's a little wider here, and it starts this size and it ends this size. Again, not a big deal. And then there's also, if you look from this side, you can see the black of the the misalignment. I don't know if it's misalignment as much as the panel is not the same shape. And then here it's good. Here it's good. The back is pretty much perfect. And then there's the same issue that is in the front. You can see that there's this a little bit of flaring out, but that's about it. Something I forgot to talk about inside the car is the glove box. The glove box stopped working about a few days after I got the car. I have a service appointment for that, and hopefully it will get fixed quickly. But another thing that I wanted to talk about the glove box is that it's just tiny. Now, inside there, you got the USB that is used for dash cam and the Sentry mode. And if you want to get the full resolution of the videos, you have to take out that USB and put it in your computer. You can get those clips using the app. However, you don't get the full resolution. Now, the problem is that the glove box is so tiny, like height-wise, that my hand can barely fit, and then if you need to put it back in, it's very hard to manipulate your fingers to be able to put it all the way in the back there. I would be able to show you, but I can't open the glove box. Next is not really an issue, but just a matter of fact. And the fact is that this model is very new, and because of that, there's not a lot of accessories that fit specifically this model. Now, everything that fits the Highland as far as the center console will fit the Juniper. So for example, floor mats, they do fit, but for example, the mats that would go in the trunk or the front, the previous models will not fit in the new model. And there's other accessories that you really don't know if they fit or not unless you try. Next, I'm going to talk about the drain plug. They added a drain plug to the front trunk, and they show that you can fill it with water or ice or whatever, but there's items there that could go bad. Like there's the tow hitch, and there's also the emergency exit button that's illuminated and is electronic. And there's a panel there that is not completely sealed. So you really can't fill it with water. There's a level there that you could probably fill it with water and nothing's going to happen. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. So you see how there's the towing hook and the lights with the button to open from the inside. So if the water gets to this point, it could seep into this mechanism. Also around here, it could seep around there. So yeah, that's my point. There's a drain plug. It's good that there's a drain plug, but it's not useful for the things that they said, like, to fill it up with water and put fish in it. No. But you could definitely put like a cooler and fill it with water, and and if something spills, then there's something to drain. Or even if you want to clean it, it drains as you clean. That's great. Next, let me talk about the ADAS system, and that's the automatic driver assistance system. It can be a little too aggressive to try to keep you in the lane. And this only happens, I think it only happens when you're going 45 miles and above. When you're going 45 miles and above, if you even go close to the line of the road from either side, it will aggressively try to put you back in the lane. Now, the problem is that, like I said in the beginning, that we have tons of potholes, and that includes highways. So if I try to avoid a pothole or a rough patch in the road, the ADAS system will try to bring me back to the center. But I believe because they have the attention monitoring system, they should be able to use that to know, hey, the driver is very attentive and he's looking straight, so he must be trying to do that, and he's not just drifting off the road because he's not paying attention. So I hope that Tesla will fix this issue and will actually use the monitoring system so that it doesn't correct you when not needed. So that was it. Those were all the things we don't like about the Tesla Model Y Juniper, the 2026 edition. While it looks like a long list, nothing here is really a deal breaker. Everything that was defective will be fixed, and the car is just a joy to drive. So why don't you subscribe, click that notification bell so you know when I post the video about everything we like about the car. And if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment box below. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next video.